Hey guys, welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast, your daily guide for inner child healing. This podcast helps you establish a consistent reparenting routine and is divided into 3 sections. The first is a daily reading, the second is a discussion of that reading followed by suggested journal prompts, and the last section is a peaceful meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us. I'm so glad that you're here as we continue on this journey of self-expansion and growth. If this is your first time, welcome. Now, before we dive in, I have a few quick reminders. Please like, share, and subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Your support here helps us spread the word, allowing us to continue to grow this community. Next, I'd like to introduce our Patreon group, where we have 3 weekly meetings. On Sundays, we have a meditation meeting. On Tuesdays, we have book club meeting. And on Thursdays, we have open topic discussions. These meetings take place at 6 p.m. CEST, so Amsterdam, Paris time. For my next announcement, I'd also like to introduce the Reparenting Daily journal, which you can find on Amazon. This journal follows along with the podcast, so each weekly and monthly themes are reflected in the journal. It provides space for you to keep your notes with plenty of extra resources on each topic to be discussed. It's an excellent tool, and if you purchase it, you can join our weekly meetings for free. Just send me an email and we'll get you linked in. For the last announcement, I'd like to introduce one of my most meaningful creative projects, a 3-volume series entitled Fairy Tales for Reparenting. Now, you might be wondering, why fairy tales? Aren't those just for kids? But through my personal healing journey and in studying the work of Carl Jung, Marie-Louise von Franz, and other spiritual and psychological traditions, I've come to see fairy tales as powerful symbolic maps for transformation. They carry deep, timeless wisdom, especially for those of us doing the hard work of reparenting ourselves. The series follows the structure of the hero's journey. Volume 1 explores the wounded child, stories of loss, betrayal, and innocence. Volume 3 is about the trials of endurance, cunning, and self-discovery. And Volume 3 is the return, stories of transformation, power, and wholeness. Each story is followed by journal prompts and space to reflect on how each story connects to your own inner healing journey. These are not just tales, they're tools. They're an invitation to connect with the part of you that still believes in magic and possibility and healing. You'll find both familiar classic and lesser-known stories from cultures around the world, offering you fresh insights and inspiration on your path. All 3 volumes are now available on Amazon. Your support means so much to me, not just for this project, but for the larger mission of helping myself and others reconnect inwardly. Reparenting is like nurturing a bonsai tree. It's not fast, it's not flashy, but with care, patience, and consistency, it will transform you. Thanks so much for being here and for supporting this work, and also for committing on your personal journey of self-expansion. Now, without further ado, let's dive into today's practice. Today, we're going to be listening to a lecture by Alain de Botton. He's the creator of the School of Life. Perhaps you've heard of it. We'll listen to a portion of the lecture, and you can find the video link in the show notes, where you can watch the entire video with the animation. His content is really great for reparenting and the general themes that we're discussing, so I highly suggest you check him out. Just as a reminder, we're in August, and the theme is healing the inner child. We're in week 2, which is August 8th until the 14th, and the theme for this week is reparenting your inner child. Without further ado, here's Alain de Botton on reparenting your inner child.
One of the most consistently confronting and at times embarrassing concepts that psychology forces us to consider is that of an inner child. All of us have along the years made such efforts to become adults, it can be at once grating and dispiriting to be told that there might nevertheless still be an inner child lodged somewhere within us. But in truth, we contain within ourselves a version of all the people that we have ever been. There is, in recessive form, somewhere in the folds of our natures, a confused teenager, a sad child, a jealous or hungry infant. No version of us ever entirely disappears. It's merely added to and buttressed, just like an oak tree that still contains in its rings the marks of all its former circumferences. Furthermore, if we follow the psychological thesis, some of our inner children are likely not to be especially well. They might be dealing with a hurt that they have no idea how to cope with. They might have suffered a loss without any chance to understand who and what is to blame. They might be lonely, distressed, or ashamed. Despite their pain, it isn't that the inner child's cries are in any danger of breaking through into the public realm. And that is precisely the problem. Inner children cause psychic distress not because they are too present, but because they are not present enough. They have been too effectively locked away. Their cries have been seamlessly forgotten and ignored. They've been pushed into a soundproof chamber from which no murmur emerges. And yet, still, they exist. We are dealing with unwanted, restless ghosts who have not been appeased or understood, but whose ongoing, ignored unhappiness threatens the course of our lives. The task ahead requires a perhaps even more grating and obtuse word: reparenting. The inner child needs to be identified, their distinctive troubles understood, and their pains soothed and becalmed. In a perfect world, it would be parents themselves who would carry out this work at the time that difficulties arose. But in the real world, some of the work gets left behind and lingers, which requires a bizarre-sounding maneuver to correct. We, the adults, need to become parents to the children we once were. We need to gather together our adult capacities for kindness, reassurance, empathy, and warmth, and direct these towards the 3 or 5 or 15-year-olds who still exist in our minds. We need to take stock of these young people's sorrows and help them in a way they were not helped at the time, in the name of helping ourselves right now, because we are standing on their shoulders and can only be as stable as they are.
Welcome back, welcome back. Now, this was a great introduction to reparenting our inner child, as he discusses in the School of Life. Again, there's a lot of great content on this channel, so I suggest you check it out. They have many great videos like this, animations that speak to relevant topics. And so it's a very helpful guide for those on a reparenting journey. He's a quite thoughtful, intellectual, and a careful speaker. As we reflect on this today, number 1 for the journal prompts: what are the primary emotions that your inner child has been keeping hidden that you need to address? Number 2, what brings your inner child joy? Are you still able to access that in the present moment, or are you able to remember that from when you were a kid? And number 3, what's one affirmation that you can say every day for the end of the year to your inner child? What is the one most important affirmation for you that you can think to say to yourself every day until the end of the year? That's it for today. As always, thanks for being here. Take care of yourself, and please do be well. Welcome back, welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please go ahead and find a space where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for this 10-minute silent meditation. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you comfortable today. Take a moment to simply be with yourself. Focus on your breath and gently connect with each part of your body. If thoughts arise, don't let them overwhelm you. Just observe them without attachment. Imagine them as leaves drifting down atop a river, passing by without needing your engagement. Stay present, grounded, and open to this moment, no matter what time you are listening and practicing this meditation. Namaste.